Hello citizens, how is it going and welcome back. This is our match preview for Wolverhampton Wanderers first Man City in the Premier League on Saturday. So make sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons. And as always, let's jump into it. So for me, this game really is going to be settled in one area of the pitch, and that is our front three, the Wolverhampton final third. Because if you look at the game the other night against Dortmund, when we played with Mahrez on the right and Grealish on the left and Haaland in the middle, I thought everything looked lethargic. I thought everything looked slow. And Mahrez and Grealish seem to lack confidence at the moment. Yeah, Grealish was running at his man a couple of times. He got past him every now and then, and he had a couple of half chances which he fired wide. But he didn't really look dangerous. And if you look at Mahrez, he doesn't seem to want to take on anyone at the moment. He doesn't want to run at his defender. He doesn't want to try and reach the byline. He's always intent on going backwards or just laying it off. And I just think at the moment, they're probably our weakest wide men for whatever reason it is, for confidence or whatever. But when you look at the subs Pep made in the second half against Dortmund, the ones who changed the game, when he brought on Bernardo, when he brought on Foden, when he brought on Alvarez, everything picked up. You know, we played quicker, we played sharper. Those three were running at the defenders a lot. They were trying to get into the box. They were linking up really well. You know, they were rotating nicely. They just brought a lot of energy and a lot of intent to the front three, you know, into the final third. And we lacked that for most of the Dortmund game. Now, of course, you know, it's not all on that as well. We were 1-0 down when them three came on. So obviously the whole team picked up and the whole team were trying to get back into it. But I just think it shows who Pep relies on to win us games. And he's looking at them three players at the moment. You know, he's obviously looking at De Bruyne as well and Haaland. But those three, the way that Pep brought them on us to change the game and to win us it, I think it says a lot about where Grealish and Mahrez is confidence-wise and where they are in Pep's eyes at the moment. And of course, we all want to see more of Alvarez. We all want to see Foden play. I think Foden's one of the first names on the team sheet. I really do. I think he's a phenomenal player. And Pep said it last week after the Sevilla game, even though Foden's not having the greatest of seasons so far, his work rate, his effort, you know, he doesn't let it drop. And neither does Bernardo, neither does Alvarez. That's the one thing those three players have in common. That even if they're not going to have a good game, they're going to put in that effort. They're going to put in the work rate. They're still going to run up and down the pitch. They're going to fight for everything. And I loved that. So for me, that's where the area of the pitch is that we're going to win or lose it, the front three. And I'm sure you're all thinking like me, Pep has to start with Foden. He has to start with Bernardo. And he has to start with Alvarez. And in that case, who comes out? Well, Grealish comes out. Mahrez comes out. And in midfield, for me, I've said it a few times this season, I don't think Gundogan and De Bruyne work together in the middle. Not against teams like Dortmund, not like against teams like Newcastle. Yeah, in games where you're going to smash teams like Bournemouth and Nottingham Forest 6-0, 4-0, sure. But away to Wolves, I don't think that's the right way to go when they're going to try and hit us on the counter-attack. You're going to have those players pushing forward and not really doing as much defensive duty as Bernardo or Foden would in that position, or Alvarez. So I wouldn't play Gundogan and De Bruyne together. I'd take one of them out and I'd stick. I think Pep stuck Alvarez there against Dortmund in the late second half. But I'd probably stick Bernardo there. Stick Alvarez on the right, Foden on the left. That's what I would do. Now, Wolves are having a typical Wolverhampton season, to be fair. They've only conceded 4, which is pretty good. It's better than us. We've conceded 6. But they've only scored 3. We've scored 20. So, I mean, most of that is Haaland. Well, I think exactly half of that is Haaland. But Wolves are only going to try and sit back. They're going to try and defend, and they're going to try and hit us on the break. And it's worked for them in the past. You know, when they got players like Traore, who's just going to bomb forward and hurt us. And that's most likely going to be the case this time, because they're going to know we're going to push the fullbacks in, set them in midfield. So there's going to be a lot of space out wide to attack the centre halves. And I think that's what Wolves are going to try and do. And that's another reason why I would definitely play Foden, Bernardo and Alvarez as well, because with their sharpness and their 90-minute work rate, I think they're going to be able to get up and down and defend that as well as get forward. And if you look at our fullback situation, you know, he played Cancelo left back and he played Stones right back, Akanji and Ake in the middle against Dortmund. And to be fair, I thought the back four, even though I've been a bit critical of the City defence lately, I think they did all right. I thought Ake was brilliant. I think Ake was my man of the match. I thought he was phenomenal. Him and Akanji were really, really good. And then Cancelo left back, of course, he likes to create, he prefers to go forward, and I think I prefer him to go forward because defensively I think he's a bit suspect at times. And right back Stones, who I think he doesn't get the love he deserves, Stones, and I think that's maybe because he gets injured a lot. But I don't mind Stones in that position. I was saying last night to someone that Stones, for me, if Pep's going to push his fullbacks into the middle, I'd rather Stones there than Walker, because Walker, yeah, he's got pace, but defensively this season he's been pretty poor. Let's be honest, he has. But Walker also cannot create. Pep's trying to convert him into some sort of creative midfielder like Cancelo. Now, Cancelo's able to do it, of course, with them wild passes he does for the outside of his right foot. Walker cannot do that. Walker can't do the 1-2s, the tiki-taka. He can't do the through balls. He doesn't even get the long balls right half the time. But Stones is a little bit more confident boy. He's a bit more happy to walk out with it and play out from the back. That's one of the reasons why we signed him. And we saw yesterday, I mean, that shot, the keeper probably should have saved it, but it's still a rocket into the roof of the net. And Stones has a pretty good record at right back for us. So, and he gives us a bit more height and a little bit more physicality as well, because he's willing to challenge in the air more than Walker. So if Pep's going to do that, I'd rather him play Stones there than Walker. However, I can also see an argument for playing Gomez on the left and Cancelo on the right. I think that would work too, because I think one of the reasons we've signed Gomez is because he can play with the ball and he can put in a good cross and a nice through ball. And he gets forward, a bit like Zinchenko. You know, it's one of the ironic things about this season is that Pep wants to play that way now and push the fullbacks in, and we let Zinchenko go when Zinchenko would have been perfect in that role and he would have thrived in it. But that's just football for you. So that's Wolves. You know, they're a little bit goal shy. They will try hills on the break. They don't concede a lot. And yeah, our front three, I think we need to switch out from Dortmund, and I'm sure Pep sees that too. I think he will start with Foden on the left, and I think he will start with Bernardo. Will he start with Alvarez? I'm not so sure. He might put Bernardo on the right, but we'll have to see. And that's my match preview for the Wolverhampton game on Saturday. The one interesting thing about Wolves, though, is they've just signed Diego Costa, which is interesting because I would have never seen that coming. And if he plays on Saturday, he's a bit of a force to be reckoned with, isn't he? He's one of those players that likes to bite, he likes to kick, and I think we'll be able to handle it, because if you look at the Atletico Madrid games last season, I was really proud of the team. I think they're two of our best performances that we did last season. I was really proud of the team then, because we've shown a lot of fight, we've shown a lot of determination. We can play dirty and we can play their way. I love that, and I hadn't seen that from a Pep team before. So even though he's going to come in and he's going to try and bully us, I don't think we'll let it happen. But we'll have to see if he plays on Saturday. And yeah, as always, thanks for watching. Thanks for checking out. I will be doing a match watch along for it on Saturday, of course, so make sure to join me for that from 12:15. Kickoff is at 12:30. Don't forget. And as always, hit the like button, hit subscribe. Thank you very much.